Hey guys, welcome to tonight's Big Brother 23 chat.
Oh, hi. It's super late. It's episode...
I'm too tired for this.
It's episode 33.
Yes.
They put us on after Survivor.
Us?
Us.
Yeah, it seems like a crime to have this show on so late.
With so little going on.
With so little going on. I feel like everything that happened in this episode happened years ago.
My brain was so filled with the goodness and wonderfulness of Survivor that there was hardly any room left for BS. But here we go.
Here we go.
Last time, Xavier nominated Azah and Kai.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't matter, though. It just doesn't matter. It's all about the veto, baby.
That's right. These nominations, they're just like placeholders.
BS.
Yeah, it's all going to
Why
come down
even bother?
to who wins the veto. Because it's still part of the game, okay?
Well, I don't think Big D has any idea how the game ends.
He doesn't. It's very clear that he has never watched a season all the way through. Because... yeah, he doesn't understand, like, how the whole end game works.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of parts of it. He's just like, wait, that's what happens? He also doesn't understand that Kylan does not want to take him to the final two. And Big D's all like, oh, well, I'm going to be the one voting, and I have a final two with Kylan, so... kind of want to keep him, you know? Oh, how many times has Kylan said, like, I want to go to the end with, like, the strongest, and he thinks that's Xavier. So, I mean, out of everyone that's left, it is. But anyway, yeah, Big D,
Well, Big D's having a chat with Azah. And Azah wants to know, what's going on? What's going on between you and the boys?
Mm-hmm.
And Big D denies that he has a final three with Xavier and
Big
Kylan.
Brother is like, receipts! They have had a final three deal for a long time.
Well, he only admitted to having two final twos. He never did this.
Such a lie.
He never did it.
Such a lie.
It reminds me of Bill Clinton. I never had sex with that woman.
Yeah. Well, Azah is pretty shocked to hear that Big D has these final two deals with the guys. Hello? How long were Tiffany and Hannah warning Azah, you need to work with the women because those guys are all working together?
You effed the whole thing up.
She's like,
Sorry,
oh crap,
Azah.
I guess I could have gotten rid of a guy during the double instead of Hannah.
Thank you. You know, it's good. At least some people realize when they effed up. Some people never realize when they F up. So
Oh, Azah.
hopefully if she gets a second chance, she's not going to blow it. All right, so Big D is crying to Kylan about Azah.
Mm-hmm.
He wants reassurances that he's Kai's number one.
Also, like, okay, maybe Big D is not an initial nominee, but he's having an awful lot of conversations about what he would do.
He's pretty damn
Before the veto.
confident that he is staying. You know, that he's going to be
He's
the
going to be the
one
one making
deciding.
the decision. Yeah.
How did he know?
It's an awful lot of talk before that veto was played.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
All right, so Xavier and Azah have a chat. And
She's wanting to know, like, are the three of you guys working together?
she said, do you desire a Batman-Superman situation at the end?
Right, because Kylan has been all like, I want to go to the end with the strongest, blah, blah, blah. It's going to be like a Batman versus Superman showdown.
Okay, well,
This is like Robin and the Joker.
yeah. Xavier knows that he could probably beat anybody left in the game. So no matter who he takes to the end or who gets to the end, as long as his ass is in the seat at the end, he's going to win.
Right.
So
But-
he doesn't care about that. He's just got to make it to the end.
Yes, he knows he's got a way better chance against Azah and Big D. It's a slam dunk, right?
Yeah, it might be a little close with Kylan, but it would be a slam dunk with the other two.
I don't even think it would be close. I think he would beat Kylan's butt. But you know
Okay.
what? Compared to
There
going
might
up...
be 1 or 2 votes for Kai.
Right, but going up against Big D or Azah would be way easier for him to win. So yeah, he wants to keep those two around and get rid of Kylan. It's smart. I gotta give Xavier props for, like, making moves here,
Yeah.
for sure.
So now Kai and Big D They had an awful lot of discussions. So, you gonna be loyal or what?
Yeah, Big D, apparently this conversation actually happened before nominations.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they were saying on the feeds. But this is something that they were talking about for a long time after it happened. So we finally got to see this conversation. And Big D is like, so when it comes down to it, like, are you still keeping me around for Final Two? Like, are we still going to Final Two together?
Why you want to talk like a doctor scientist?
Yeah, Kylan's telling him, like, I'm like, I don't think you should be asking me this right now because I'm vulnerable. Like, I'm about to be going up on the block, and I feel like you're trying to hold this over me and use it as leverage, blah, blah, blah. Which, I see what he's saying, but at the same time, you are about to go up on the block. So,
Yeah.
Well, the way that they're showing it, you're on the block. So, just tell him yes. Is it so
Yeah,
hard to say,
why-
yes, we're going to the Final Two?
Why does Big D not have a problem, like, lying to Azza or whoever, but not Kylan?
Well, I'm saying Kylan should say, yes, I will take you to the Final Two.
Yeah.
You know, he's putting this doubt out there. Dumb.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Is our deal dead?
So much
Maybe.
drama between Big D and Kylan. Oh my goodness.
Alright, I don't know what the hell Kylan's problem is with, like, smelling everything.
Okay, this
But it's
segment was
disgusting.
too much. I saw that tortilla thing the other day and I was about to throw up. He's all...
He's really sucking it in, too.
I thought he
Like,
said...
you could really hear it.
Yeah. Well, I think that was also some added in for the effect.
It
but
was a lot.
I thought he said his reasoning was he thinks that they're, like, sanitizing the groceries, and he wanted to see if, like, the smell of the sanitizer seeped into the tortillas or something. But
it's not just
why is
the
he smelling
tortillas.
everything else?
I'm surprised he wasn't smelling his underwear, too.
I mean, he was smelling his laundry to, like, see if it was clean or not, and he was really giving it a good sniff. But then he put the tortillas back in the bag? It was too much.
Well, Xavier is disgusted, and rightly so. Why wasn't everybody else disgusted? Because that was gross.
I think he was the only one in the room for that. Yeah.
Why didn't he call him out and say, like, get your freaking face off the tortillas?
I don't know, but it was nasty as hell.
I would have went right over to the refrigerator and threw them out. All right, so Xavier needs to persuade Big D to vote out Kylan.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to do it, because he doesn't want to lose a jury vote.
Who doesn't want to do it?
Xavier.
Well, Xavier's the HOH. He's not voting.
I know.
Okay.
I know. But he wants the blood to be on Big D's hands.
Right. The crazy thing here is Xavier knows that Kylan wants to take him to the Final Two.
Right.
And he knows that Azza does not.
Mm-hmm.
So this really is a move that will benefit Big D. But here Xavier is having to convince Big D, hey, you should vote out Kylan and not Azza.
Right.
And Big D is like, I don't know. I don't want to get rid of Kai. Blah, I don't know. Big D, what the actual F? He's pretty much guaranteed a spot in the Final Two.
He does not want a woman to be in with the guys.
I know. He's guaranteed a spot in the Final Two if he evicts Kylan. But he is so convinced that Kylan is going to stay loyal to their Final Two deal. Even though Kylan basically told him, like,
no,
not happening.
All right, well, it's time for CSI Vegas.
Okay.
Vegas! And Xavier chooses Azza.
Yes, this is a carryover from the HOH competition because they had that CSI tie-in.
Well, Xavier chose Azza because she kind of missed out on her HOH reign.
She went during double.
Yeah. So it's almost a date. They're sharing a blanket on 2 separate chairs. There's yummy cold pizza and a cheesy ass show. Where was there more cheese? On the show when the lady got hit by the car? Or on the pizza?
She didn't get hit by a car.
She got rolled. She rolled in front of the car or something?
I don't know about that. You were falling asleep during that. I loved Azza's ridiculous reactions during it, though.
Oh. All right, so Big D, after the CSI Vegas thing, apologized to Azza.
Yeah, because Xavier is now saying that he wants Kyland out. So Big D's like, oh shit, I guess I should
smooth it over.
Yeah, I guess I should work on this. And Xavier has also been telling him, stop having all these conversations before the veto even happens.
Yeah.
So he had to try and, like, clean things up with Ozza.
He really half-assed it. He half big derriered it.
He's been terrible to Ozza this week, I have to say. I mean, he's been terrible to Ozza throughout.
I don't want my feelings to cloud what is right for me to do. So that's basically saying, I like Kai better than you, but I know I should probably keep you, so I guess I will.
We get it. You have a crush on Kyland.
So it's time for the veto comp.
Okay.
And it was a real cluster F. It was simultaneously happening, but private, like they do on Amazing Race when they have the final thing and everybody's working on the puzzle, whatever, at the same time, but they can't see each other.
Okay.
It's called BB's Winning Days.
All right, so this was a days competition, but they also brought back one that we've seen a few times now in the show where you got to go back and forth and put balls of all different sizes into your bingo card shovel, whatever.
This was the reset week veto competition when Frankie Grande was on, I believe.
So you got to get the correct number in there, and you got to go back and forth on your seesaw.
All the balls have a different number value, so you have to, it's like, you know, I'm going to need 2 quarters, and I'm going to need this many dimes, and I'm going to need this many nickels.
Right.
So you have to, it has to add up to the number that you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So
be careful, because if any of your balls pop out, you got to start over.
Ew. All right, so also 2 strikes and you're out, which means not falling off. That means if you're the last loser,
you're the last person to buzz in,
you're done.
Yeah. Also, if you fall off the beam, you got to start over.
Right. So after the first round, Derek,
he got a strike.
Yeah. And then after the second round, Kyland got a strike. So it's 1 strike Derek, 1 strike Kyland.
Kyland knew the answers, it seemed like, but he was trying to go so fast that he kept bouncing his balls out of that bingo shovel. So
here, let me give a Maddie look.
I'm really tired.
I
know. He was blowing his own thing up.
Blowing his balls out?
Yeah. And then he ended up getting eliminated first because he got a second strike. Yeah.
So then Ozza crapped out for the next 2 rounds.
Yeah. So then it came down to Big D and Xavier.
Only Big D had 1 strike and Xavier had none. So
yeah,
there was no way that Big D was going to beat Xavier. So Xavier wins the POV.
All right.
Congrats.
Yes, that's a big win. That means Kyland didn't win.
Kyland's already crying.
Yeah, so after the competition, Kyland is crying in the have-not room. He's hitting that bed in there.
I'm a dummy! Why was he in the have-not room?
He's been hanging out there a lot.
It's not like he was a have-not,
though,
right?
No, they haven't done that in a while.
No.
This is like his little apartment, he's been calling it.
Okay. So Kai is asking X for assurance. He comes into the have-not room, and he's all, you know, are you okay? I don't know, am I? So
Xavier is like, I don't want to have any veto talks right now. Like, we'll do that tomorrow.
Am I okay?
Yeah, Kyland's like, you know, I've like saved you before, and I've given you reassurances, and I want like that instant reassurance from you to make me feel a lot better.
It's all okay.
Yeah, and Xavier's
You're
like,
going home.
Xavier's like, yeah, you're fine, you're good, and Kai is like, you mean when you say I'm good, like for 3? And Xavier's like, yeah. No. Xavier still wants Kyland out.
Yeah. All right, so if Big D is not going to do the job, Ozza is more than willing to do it. So use the veto on me. You know, let me have the veto used on me, and I will do your dirty work. No problem.
And Xavier is considering it because he doesn't know if he can trust Big D at this point to get the job done and vote Kyland out.
So we're not going to know what Xavier's going to do until it is live tomorrow. They're doing the veto ceremony live. We're going to do it effing live. So I still don't know what's going to happen. Do you know which way Xavier's leaning?
I have a guess. I haven't seen the feed since this afternoon, but I have a guess.
Who knows what could happen tonight?
Yeah, we'll see what happens, but...
I mean...
I'm tired. I'm done.
Okay.
Thank you all so much for watching tonight.
That's it.
I'm just ready to move on and get things popping here. I feel like this week really drags. They should not have a full week for the Final Four. It's too much.
Correct. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. And until tomorrow,
much love.